Good morning. Today we've got some shorter r/entitled parent stories for you. I hope you enjoy, and if you do, please like and subscribe. Now, let's get started. First up, we got entitled Mom is Angry Her Teens Can't Bully Children. Got permission from my best friend to share this. This happened on Sunday. BFF works as a kids minister at a small church, and she likes taking her 3 to 5th graders on different adventures. So, just to empathize here, these are 8 to 11-year-olds. These are literal children. On this particular adventure, BFF took a group to go laser tagging. I mean, who doesn't want to have a good old game of laser tag? When she booked with the place, she had gotten the impression that her kids were going to be able to play games against each other, without any other groups in the game. Somehow, the communication got messed up, and her group was put into the first game with these 4 high school boys, who had a pass day for laser tag. They could play however many games they wanted, all day. BFF wasn't upset. Got all of her kids loaded up with their vests and guns, and they set out to play the first round. They ended up playing BFF's group versus the 4 high school boys. By the time the round was over, she had heard from a number of her kids that these 4 high school boys were being awful to them. Name-calling, bullying, who knows what else was coming out of their mouth. As BFF heard this from their kids, she got a little annoyed. She calmed her group down from their previous game, and they got ready for their round 2. Again, the 4 high school boys joined them. This time, the game was arranged so it was girls versus boys, with the 4 high school boys on the girls' team, and again, the high school boys were name-calling and bullying. Only this time, they picked up an even more aggressive tactic. These 4 high school boys started ramming into whoever was coming their way, knocking them over. These huge teenage boys were knocking over kids, literal children. They even went as far as to knock over BFF's volunteer helper, an actual adult. When they got done with that round, BFF was red hot and went to the counter to talk to the employee. BFF told the young employee that these high school boys were being aggressive, mean, and rude to her kids, and she was hoping to have a game with just her kids and no one else. Because at that point, a lot of her kids were bummed and upset, and they didn't want to play their last round because they were so done. The employee BFF was talking to was unsure what to say, being a teenager herself, so she offered to go talk to the manager. BFF said, "Absolutely. I would love to talk to a manager. Thank you." Enter an eavesdropping entitled mother, EM.
"Excuse me, I believe those are my boys you're talking about."
"Oh, okay."
"They have a day pass. They can play if they want to."
They were being aggressive with my kids and bullying them, and that's not okay with me.
"My baby and his friends would never do that."
Believe me if you want to or not, but I don't want my kids playing with them again. I was under the impression we would have rounds to ourselves, and I would like for my kids to actually enjoy a round before we go home.
"Wow, some church group you are. You're not being very Christ-like."
I'm sorry you feel that way, but I would like to enjoy our last round with just our group.
"You're such a Karen."
Lol, yes, she actually said this.
"I'm going to call your church tomorrow and tell your pastor what kind of Christian he has working at his church."
Sounds good. Talk to you tomorrow then, I guess. And she walked away, leaving the entitled mother shouting and calling BFF names. BFF got to round up her kids for one last game without the 4 high school boys. And the lady never called. Gotta love it when the lady doesn't even follow up on her threats. Perfect. If you're enjoying this video, be sure to check me out at the links down below. Entitled Mother tells me I'm more likely to die in a car wreck on the way here than COVID, and disrespected my boundaries. I was 15, female, at the time, and had a mental age of 12 to 13. This event was about a year ago, so I mostly forgot all the details. Sorry. My family has been wary about everything since COVID struck the earth. We wear masks, stay away from large groups, but no vaccine for me and my brother. My family, except me, caught the V in the early 2021, and my mother got it worst of all, her lungs possibly damaged for life. So I work hard not to get COVID in fear of my safety, and my already weakened mother's safety. Now, my friend means well, but she's the type of person who goes, "Oh, there's a topic we don't agree on? Let's argue about it for 30 minutes!" Same with her mother, but her mother is 10 times worse. The V is one of those topics. My friend invited me to her birthday party and sleepover, so I asked my mom if I could go. She said yes, but I cannot stay for a sleepover, and I have to wear a mask. No big deal. When I arrived at my friend's house, no one questioned my mask, so I thought I was in the clear. I had a blast, and me and the other girls were laughing, having fun, and talking about strange topics such as rug cleaning is super satisfying. But then it was time to eat. Everyone got their food and sat down at the table. I got my food, but I was a little concerned about where to sit. I didn't want to sit at the table since everyone was in close proximity, and I didn't want to sit on the couch since what we were eating is rather messy. "Can I sit outside?"
No, it's too hot out.
The weather was rather pleasant, but okay. Oh, okay.
What's wrong?
Well, I don't know where to sit.
Why don't you sit at the table?
I don't,
Listen, the odds of you dying in a car accident on the way here is much higher than you dying to the V. Now take off your mask and sit down.
I was shocked. I had never been talked to like this before. The whole table went silent. EM started to talk to me again, but my anxiety kicked in, and I didn't hear anything. I couldn't even tell her about my worries about my mom. I have a very bad fight or flight response, so I started to cry.
Oh, she's crying.
It didn't help that she acted frustrated. My other friend stood up. "That's enough," my friend said to EM. And then to me she said, "Come on, let's go outside." I nodded and we both went outside. Me, still crying. "Thank you so much." Friend 2. I knew she was bad with controversial topics, but I didn't expect her to say that. I didn't either, I said. Then I told her about my worries about my mom, and she said she understood. 2 girls came outside as well, and explained it got awkward fast, and the EM and her husband were arguing about what happened. The friend that invited me came outside. Me, I didn't realize that she was that intense. No offense, F1. Friend 1, I know. Ugh, I'm so sorry. Then when we got to talking again, my mom texted me that she was picking me up and to make sure I tell EM thank you. When I got back in the car, I told my mom the events of what happened, and she was furious. Ma, she not only disrespected your wishes, she disrespected my parenting. Did you not tell her about me? Me. I tried, Mom, but I couldn't form the words. Mom, I understand, but this is not your fault. Remember that. This same mother has berated another friend's mother on the phone, and another friend isn't fond of her either. So that's my story of the only entitled parent I've encountered so far. Not action packed or entertaining, but it's still a story. Hello there. Sorry to burst on in at the end of your wonderful video, but we've got a sponsor! If you enjoy eating snacks while listening to your stories, check out the Creation Snack Company and buy a snack with the coupon code VAMPIRE, beginning with an F, not a V. As in, you're my family, but we're vampires. And then you can get some snacks. Some little snickety snacks. Some delicious, delectable treats. And you'll be supporting the channel while you do so. So, check it out at the link below. And remember, use the code VAMPIRE.